Hi, today I am going to make a video about boundaries, and it's kind of maybe a part one of maybe a 2 or 3 part series, because I think boundaries are really important. It's a really big topic and very wide ranging, and depends on the sort of boundaries you're setting. And part of the reason I chose to do it right now while I'm down at the stables with my horse Bruno is that boundaries with animals and half a ton of horse are really, really important. And you want to do that in a firm, gentle, non-aggressive way, and but it's really important. I can't have him just barging me out of the way, stepping on my feet or anyone else around me, because they're just too big. But equally, he's a beautiful animal, and he's very sweet, and he's kind, and he's got his own issues. And so I have to be mindful of the stuff that's going on for him as well. So when we set boundaries and make sure that he's not, going to hurt me or anyone else, we try and do that in a nice way and try and mimic behaviour out in the field between horses, and you just have to learn how to do that with different books and behaviourists and trainings and things like that. And it's the same with dogs and any other animals. You need to kind of set the boundaries so that they know who's kind of in charge, and but do that in a kind of non-aggressive way. And it's the same with children. So there's those sort of boundaries, where you're having to be really educational. And it's the same if you're a boss with a team or a company at work. It's about making everybody feel safe, that they can come to you if there's a problem, or something's messed up, and they can come to you with a solution or to work out a solution with you. But equally, they also need to feel they know where they're going and that things need to get done and the direction of travel and all that. So there's those kind of boundaries. And then if you're in a job and you feel that your boundaries are being sort of impinged upon, then you have to think about, okay, are my boundaries being overstepped? Or, am I being a bit defensive? Do I not want to do that? And it gets really complex. And I think whenever we're setting boundaries, whether it's with children, with our animals, with our teams, we've got to make sure that we're doing it kind of for the right reasons. And that requires the inner work, the being able to sit with ourselves, to be able to really tune into what's going on for us. Because if we are being a bit defensive and a bit reactive because someone's asked us to do something that we don't want to do or we don't know how to do it, then that can cause us to say no, when actually there could be a really good growth opportunity for us to learn. It's just that we're a bit scared, or we think, oh God, this is going to really expose me. So I think it's kind of, obviously I'm going to say it's about doing your inner work, tuning into your feelings and tuning into yourself and having a good route around before you kind of react or say no. And then if you decide, no, this is something that I actually feel is outside of my remit, or I've got too much on, then, that's a good time to kind of look at what you're doing or what your remit job description is and say, actually, this is beyond my remit. Is this something that I need to expand in my role? Is this a growth opportunity for me, an opportunity for a pay rise or a promotion, or is it a step on my career ladder? Talking about work really in that kind of environment, because that can be quite a difficult thing to do. If you're being asked to do something, you feel it's really outside of your remit, and then how do you have that conversation in a healthy way? And I think, one of the things you can do is say, I'm not on board with that yet, and for X, Y, and Z reasons. It's always good to have some reasons, because then that opens up a conversation. It could be, I don't feel comfortable about that, or, it's not in my job description, or I don't know how to do that, or we're not set up as a team to do that for this and this reason. And, maybe we can do this, but we can't do that. And I think it's always about opening up that conversation and managing expectations rather than being a no. So as I say, boundaries is an absolutely huge topic, and I find it a huge topic every day. And I'm actually going on to a workshop tonight called The Wheel of Consent. I've never done it before, I've only ever heard of it before, but it's exactly about that. It's about, asking people what they're comfortable with, and then asking for something that you want to be done to you. So I shall do a follow-up to that, maybe tomorrow when I've been to the workshop, maybe tonight. But I really wanted to open up the conversation and the topic about boundaries, because I think the more, I've been meaning to do it for days, and the more I think about it, the more I actually realise that it covers so many things: family, relationships, friendships, work. And here's Bruno. His boundaries are not too good, but I try and teach him all the time, but he's very sweet, so we let him off if he's a bit clumsy. Anyway, I will see you again in the next video.